be circumcised. You're not a 1-day, 2-day-old baby. You're grown men now. You got to be circumcised. So we got to cut away some things before I take you into the promised land. Walk by faith and power,